extra layer of security is actually failing you. Here's how hackers bypass your MFA in seconds. You've been told that multi-factor authentication makes you unhackable, but for most of you, that extra layer is actually a trap. Today, we're looking at why hackers love your SMS codes and how switching to passkey can make your identities bulletproof. Imagine it's 2 AM. Your phone buzzes. It's a login request for your email. You hit deny, and it buzzes, and again, and again, and again. You think your phone's glitching, or maybe you just want it to stop so you can get some sleep. So you hit approve, just to make it go away. In the industry, we call that MFA fatigue. And in that 1 second of frustration, you've given away the keys to your entire digital identity. We've been told for years that multi-factor authentication, those SMS codes and push notifications, make us unhackable. But as an identity and access professional, I'm here to tell you the hackers have caught up. Legacy MFA relies on you making the right decision under pressure. But what if we could take the human element out of it entirely? What if your login was physically impossible to phish? That's the power of passkey. Today, we're breaking down why your current security setup is failing you, and why moving to a passwordless workflow isn't just a convenience, it's an essential way to stay safe in 2026. If you haven't seen my quick guide on how to enable passkeys, you'll want to check that out after this, because the stakes have never been higher. To understand why passkeys are better, we have to look at what's actually happening during that login. When you get a traditional MFA notification, a server is sending a message to your phone saying, "Hey, someone is trying to log into your email. Is that you?" It's a simple yes/no question. And because it's a question, it can be asked 1,000 times until you get tired and say yes. A passkey doesn't ask you a question. It performs a cryptographic handshake. Think of it like this. Traditional MFA is a security guard asking you for a password. A passkey is a physical key that only fits one specific lock. When you use a passkey, your device uses a private key stored securely in your phone's hardware to sign a unique challenge from the website. This private key never leaves your device. It cannot be phished. It cannot be intercepted. And most importantly, it cannot be fatigued. If a hacker tries to trigger a passkey login for your account, they can't even get the process started because they don't have the physical hardware, your phone or your security key, required to initiate that handshake. This shifts the burden of security from your willpower to the laws of mathematics. As an IAM professional, that's the gold standard. We're moving away from shared secrets like passwords and codes and moving towards asymmetric cryptography that stays under your control. Now, how do you actually move away from the fatigue trap? It starts with an identity audit. Most of the major platforms you use every day, Google, Apple, Microsoft, and even Amazon, already have passkey support baked in. Your first step is to go into the security settings and look for passkeys or passwordless sign-in. When you create a passkey, it links your account to your device's biometrics, like Face ID or your fingerprint. From that moment on, the password becomes irrelevant. Here is the professional secret. Once you have your passkey set up and a backup physical security key, like a Yubikey, registered, you should consider disabling SMS as a recovery option. Why? Because as long as SMS is an option, a hacker can try to downgrade your security back to that vulnerable code. By removing the legacy option, you're essentially closing the only window they have into your digital life. It might feel strange at first to not type a password, but you'll quickly realize that secure doesn't have to mean difficult. In fact, it's usually faster. At the end of the day, cybersecurity isn't about being unhackable. It's about making yourself such a difficult target that a hacker moves on to someone else. By switching to passkeys, you aren't just protecting an account, you're taking back control of your digital identity. Remember, identity is the new perimeter. If you don't own your identity, you don't own your data. If you found this breakdown of MFA fatigue helpful, do me a favour, hit that like button so this video reaches more people who might be at risk. I'm here to help you navigate the complex world of cybersecurity one practical step at a time. I'll see you in the next one.